All right, class. Today we're focusing on using imagery to bring writing to life. Okay, that's going to be our creating writing assignment for today. So, all together, let's go ahead and say the objective. We will identify how authors use imagery to create vivid mental pictures and will apply this technique by revising our own writing to include at least 2 sensory details. Okay? So this is the text we're focusing on today. We're going to develop drafts into a focused, structured, and coherent piece of writing by using specific language and sensory details to develop ideas. So here's some of the vocab we're going to be going over. Here's the word and the meaning. So imagery, it's word that appeals to the 5 senses, okay? Sensory details, descriptions of what you see, hear, smell, taste, and feel. Vivid, it's very clear, bright, and full of life. Descriptive, it means that we're using lots of details, okay? So today we're going to do our quick write. We're going to look at the prompt here from the book Come On Rain by Karen Hess. The clouds roll in, gray as smoke, and the air smells like rain. So let's think of a time that we felt a change in the weather. Maybe when the rain started or the sun came out after a storm. Describe what you saw, you heard, and you felt, okay? I want you guys to take about 2 to 3 minutes. Let's not think about spelling and, the correct way to write things. Let's just try and focus on our idea, making sure we have a nice idea that uses some of our senses, right? So let's think. What we saw, we heard, and we felt, okay? I'm going to go ahead and give you 2 minutes for that one, guys. Let's start now. We're thinking of the time we felt a change in the weather. Maybe when the rain started or the sun came out after a storm, okay? Let's think about what we saw, we heard, and we felt, okay? Let's think about our senses as we're writing this, okay, guys? And when you're done, just go ahead and show me a thumbs up, okay? Okay, we have a few friends in the back. All right, buddy, stay on task back there. Stay focused. Let's make sure we're using our senses, okay? All right, you have about 30 more seconds, okay? Perfect, perfect. Thank you, guys. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put that away and we're gonna focus on Come On Rain by Karen Hess. So an excerpt from the book, it says, the clouds swell and burst. We splash in the warm, glistening water. The smell of rain soaks into our skin. So let's think, what do you picture in your mind? Which senses can you find? And also, how does it make you feel as a reader, okay? So really quickly, let's answer the first one. So what do you picture in your mind when we're reading this excerpt here? The clouds swell and burst and splash in the warm, glistening water. The smell of rain soaks into our skin. Okay, is there anybody that would like to help me with that one? Okay, Nevaeh? Perfect. We see the clouds. Exactly. We see the full clouds. We see it's about to rain. Exactly. That's perfect. Okay. And okay, great. Well, there we can feel it, right? We say we splash in the warm, glistening rain, so now we can feel the warmth, right? It says the smell of the rain, so now we're smelling the rain, right? And then it says it soaks into our skin, so now we can feel what the rain would feel like, right? So see how they incorporated the senses in here, so you can not only read the words but visualize as if you were a character in a story, right? So let's think about revising our sentence that you wrote, okay? So here's the before. I stood on the porch, it was raining. Pretty simple, right? Now let's think how we can add a little bit of depth to that sentence, right? How can we provide some imagery so that our reader can get a better understanding of what we're saying? Warm rain tapped the porch roof. Wet air wrapped around me, and the smell of damp earth rose from the garden. Okay? Did you guys see how here we said the warm rain, right? So we feel the warm rain. Now it says tap the porch roof. Now we can hear it. It says the wet air wrapped around me, right? So now I'm feeling the air. It says, and the smell of damp earth rose from the garden. Now I have the smell, right? So now, since I've added the sound, touch, and smell, you can feel as if you were sitting there, right? As if you were next to me. You can imagine, you can visualize it, right? Perfect. See how we're able to make that connection? Okay, so now we're gonna do a little bit of guided practice. So while we're reflecting, I want you to try and think about how does the adding imagery change your writing, okay? How and why do authors use that imagery, okay? Think about this. And while you're using these 3 sensory details, let's make sure we add that in our journal entry, okay? That's gonna be our challenge for today. So I want you guys to go ahead and go back to your Crookwrite, and you're gonna underline one sentence in there, and you're gonna revise it by adding at least 2 sensory details, such as sound, touch, sight, etc., okay? So you're gonna be thinking, what could your reader see, all right? What could they hear or feel, all right? I want you to try and use the sentence stem examples. I could hear, or it smelled like, or the wind felt, right? So those are ways that I'm showing my senses, right? So let's try and use our sentence stems. So I want you guys to take a few minutes and think, how can we revise our sentence by adding our 2 sensory details, okay? I'm going to give you, let's give you 3 minutes to try and revise that, okay? Let's focus on using just 2 sensory details, okay? Let's make sure we're using 2 sensory details. Don't forget, when you're done, just go ahead and show me a thumbs up, okay? Show me a thumbs up. Thank you. Okay, we'll take about 30 more seconds. Francis, let's task. Keep revising, keep revising. All right, perfect. A few friends in the back. Okay, I'll give you guys a little bit more time, okay? Let's make sure we're only focusing on 2 sentences, okay? Let's try not to make it too difficult for ourselves. We only need 2 sentences in our revision process. Perfect, thank you guys. Okay, so now that we did our revisions, right? I'm gonna have 3 volunteers, all right? So what 3 friends would like to read out the revisions for me? Okay. Perfect, let's hear it from you, Anna. Perfect, I love how you gave me your before sentence, you showed me your after, and how you added in the touch and the feel, right? So now we can feel it, now we can smell also what you're stating. So now we have a better picture, a better understanding, okay? And really quickly, I want one peer to go ahead and tell me with it using a sentence stem. I could really picture it when you said, okay? Let's see, let's make sure she understands that we're further understanding what she's saying by using her imagery, okay? So let's think. I could really picture it when you said, perfect, let's hear it. Perfect, William. I could really picture it when you said that we could smell her a mile away, right? So now we understand, like, oh, we hear it, we smell it, right? We can see it, perfect. We have it visualized, we can do it perfectly, okay? And I need one more volunteer. Let's see, who would like to help me with this one? Who would like to read their revision for me? Let's see. Perfect, let's hear it from you, Zaire. Okay, hold on really quickly. Let's get one person to tell us that was ideal, it's perfect. She used 3. Can you guys tell me, I could really picture it when you said, let's see, what friend would like to help Zaire? Let's let her know that we understand what she's talking about. She's in her imagery, okay? Perfect, Gian, let's hear it. Okay, I could really picture it when you said, thank you for using your sentence stem. Perfect, I can really picture it when you said, yeah, right, steaming hot. We can imagine the steam, right? Perfect, steaming hot is bubbling. We can imagine that, we can all picture that. Not only can we see it, right, but we feel the heat coming from it. Exactly, perfect. Okay, and you guys see how that the imagery makes the writing come alive when we use our sentences, right? We can better connect to that, right? Okay, so let's reflect really quickly. How did adding imagery change your writing? And why do you think authors use imagery? Let's see, let's work on the first question. Who would like to help me with that one? How did adding imagery change your writing? Okay, Jalen? Exactly, it enhanced our writing. It puts us in the perspective as if we were in the story. Perfect, that's a great way to say it. Okay, and why do you think authors use imagery? What friend would like to help me with this one? Let's not speak out loud, let's raise our hand. Okay, perfect, let's see what you have to say. Okay. That's a great reason why authors would use imagery. It helps the readers to further understand what they're saying without simply reading it. Now we can picture it and visualize it. We can be in that space as if we were right next to them, right? Right next to the character. Okay, perfect. So we did just use 3 sensory details, but we used 2. So now we're gonna do a 3rd sensory detail in our next journal, okay? So guys, I want you to write me a nice little sentence showing me while we're reflecting that we're gonna use imagery to enhance our writing. So I want you guys to try and further enhance it, and let's use 3 sensory details, okay? So that's the challenge for now. I want you guys to show me 3 sensory details how we can enhance your image. All right? So let's think about our senses as we're stating this. And when we're done, just go ahead and show me a thumbs up, okay? Let's not disturb our friends around us. They're still working. Oh, Isabel, that's perfect. Yes, so you use your touch. We can feel right, we can feel it. We can smell it. And now we can perfect taste it. So those are 3. Great job, great job. Thank you for your work. We're only focusing on 3 senses this time. 3 senses, okay? All right, thank you guys. Perfect. Back here, group, let's see. Are you guys done? Okay, let me see your thumbs. Let me see your thumbs. Okay, perfect. Now I'm gonna have 2 of my friends share with us their revised sentences, okay? Let's see, how have we revised it now that we need 3, right? Now that we need 3 sentences, how do we revise it? Okay, let's hear it. Jaden? Perfect. I love how not only did you give me that before, but you also answered and showed me how you added in your extra sentences, okay? And see how we can get a feel for what he's trying to say. We're not just reading it, now we can imagine it, right? Okay, let's see, who else would like to share with me? Okay, Brittany, let's hear from you. Great job, okay? Perfect. Did you guys know how she mentioned that not only did she hear it, but she was able to feel and taste, right? So now we have a full experience of what she's trying to say without even being in the story, right? We were able to connect the dots from our history and what we know in our past experiences to the story to make a further connection with the novel, right? Perfect. Thank you guys. I appreciate this. Well, thank you for your time today. We've done a great job with our discussion questions. I can't wait to work revising next.